I can't. Okay, let's go.
Remember when you was a child and you wanted to join a football team, a basketball team? You always went to the winning team. The losing team, even if it was your neighborhood, you would walk 20 blocks to play for the winning team. Most Latinos know that they are African. Most Dominicans know that they are African. But guess what? Until Africans start winning, I'm not identifying with that team. You see, that's what's going on. Yeah. That's why you get black people running around say, I got Indian in me. Or I'm half Irish, I'm half Jew. They won't even let you in the church, but you brag about how you have this and half that. Why do black people get so excited when they find out they got a little bit of white in them? But when white people find out they got a little bit of black, they keep it quiet. We broadcast that I'm part native and part European. You know why? Because we're not proud to be black. So the minute we find out we got something else in us, it becomes a badge of pride because being an African has been a burden and not a blessing to most of us. But the Honorable Marcus Garvey said it best. He said, the white man has made being black a crime. I will make it a blessing. We have to sell the African back to himself.
True.
To walk into the bank in Savannah when we were ready to build our house and borrow $100,000 and neither one of us were working. I mean, that to me, that is just so incredible that we could do that. I mean, of course we had to present, we had to give them facts and figures and all that kind of thing, but if you were a person of color and you walked in and you said, well, we're neither working and they're going to loan you $100,000, I don't think so.
Oh, simple things. I mean, from everything from the ease of getting a bank loan to knowing that I can drive just about anywhere in this city and not get stopped because of my color by the police.
When I drive down the road and I get pulled over by a police officer, it's probably because either I've broken the law or I'm getting a flat tire and the police officer's going to tell me I'm getting a flat tire.
Well, when I get pulled over, I don't get tickets, I'm a white woman, middle class, in a minivan. I get pulled over all the time for speeding. And it's almost become a joke. And then, the police officers apologized to me for pulling me over, and I know if I was a person of color, that wouldn't happen, I know that I would be pulled over a lot more if I was a person of color because I speed every day. And so I get stopped, they look at my license, and then they let me go,
I've experienced whiteness on the 3 occasions that I've been pulled over by law enforcement driving a car. One time I ran a red light, it was turning red, right? Another time I was speeding, and another time I had a headlight out. And every single time I got off with a warning. I never got a ticket for any of those things. It was privilege and whiteness, therefore, that helped get me off. And I think for the average person, it would be whiteness that would allow me not to even have to think about why. I could get away and thinking, oh, I sweet-talked my way out of that. I did, but I was aided by the fact that I'm white.
They're not going to do a body check on me. They're not going to rip my car apart looking for a reason to haul me in. I'm not profiled. That's white privilege.
Basically, when I go to City Council or County Commission, I expect my representatives to take me seriously. And they do, for the most part, because they know that they have to be more accountable to the white community because the white community has more power and money and can vote them out of office.
We as white people have a sense of what our rights are, that we have the right to, live well, live safely, have health care and police that respond to us, have city officials that pay attention to us, have the needs of our community, be able to have those met. And I think that if you
Interesting.
Hate for black people, man. What the fuck, man? It's a visceral hate. It's a visceral hate, man. I'm not saying that any other races go through racist shit. Real talk. Other non-black races go through racist shit, but not the shit that we go through. I'm sorry. Motherfucker on horseback? Look at this motherfucker. On horseback whipping Haitian refugees, man? Well, I hope that they find these motherfuckers and punish them accordingly, because this shit is crazy. Am I crazy, guys? Are you guys gonna go, is this another black thing, Godfrey? Fuck no, dude. This is a humanity thing. You understand? Because I'm going to keep it 100. Every race hates black people. That's real shit. I didn't say every single person from that race, but it's a worldwide thing to fucking hate black people. Even if you've never met one before. There are people who have never, I've traveled a lot of countries, and they will say some shit about black people, and they've never met them before because for some reason, there's a worldwide thing to fucking hate us. Even black people hate us. Isn't that crazy? Our own folks hate us. This shit is getting so fucking crazy. And people say, but it's 2021. I love when people do this. God, in 2021? What do you mean in 2021? Civil rights movement was not that long ago. The girl that's desegregated, that little black girl, where all those grown-ass white people were yelling at that little black girl, that lady's only 60-something years old. So this visceral hate for us, man, is it's nobody can beat us in fucking hate as far as suffering from hate. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to compare, discrimination, but nobody tops black people. All right? In every community, the gay community, black people are discriminated against. Yes, all the different communities. It does not matter. I don't know what to say. I'm an artist, but I have to say this kind of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not different than those refugees. I'm not different than them. Just because I'm in entertainment, I'm not, this shit can happen to me. This can happen in the streets of New York because they have mounted cops. All right? So I'm not different than them. We're all part of the same fucking cloth, man. African diaspora, Shout out to the Haitian community and the Haitian people. You guys are some of the strongest people. Shout out to Desoline and Toussaint. You know what I mean? Freed themselves from slavery, and now they're still paying France for their freedom because they didn't want to be slaves. What? That doesn't make any sense. This is a humanity thing, everybody. And if you're taking this as a, oh man, black shit, fuck off. Seriously.
Love Godfrey.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm going to assist you guys in the vehicle. As someone
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to touch me. You're definitely not about to touch me. And I'm about to go ahead and get somebody on the line because it will be a lawsuit if you put your hands on me for no reason, bro.
Well, the reason is that I'm asking you.
No. We ain't going to go there. We about to get some people here that's about to witness what's going
That's
on.
right. You got to step out, buddy.
I cannot step out. I'm a paraplegic. I cannot.
Come on.
I'm a paraplegic, sir. Come on, bro.
Step out of the car.
I cannot step out of the car. I cannot step out of the car.
I had this situation last night. Get out. You can get out of the car. You got in the car. You get out of the car.
Hey, bro, can you come down the street to Ferguson and Grand? The police just pulled me over and they trying to make me get out the car, and I'm telling them I'm a paraplegic. I can't get out the car without no help and shit. And these motherfuckers, they also just come down the street, bring some people with cameras. Come down the street, bring cameras and bring somebody so they can witness what's going on.
All right, come on. Time to get out of the car.
I'm not getting out. I just told you I'm a paraplegic. I cannot get out.
I do not want to have to. I do not want to have to.
Can you call your white shirt, please?
I will.
If you pull me out of here, you better expect.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna pull you out and then I'll call a white shirt because you're getting out of the car. That's not an option. You're getting out of this car, so you can cooperate and get out of the car, or I will drag you out of the car. Do you see your two options here?
I know I got right.
Sir?
I would like for you to call your white shirt.
I will when I'm done. Get out of the car.
Come on, bro.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
bro.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Listen.
Get out of the car.
I know I'm paraplegic, bro. You can hurt me.
Get out of the car.
You can hurt me, bro.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
What are y'all doing, bro?
Dude, you're making this worse.
I'm a paraplegic, bro. I'm trying to tell you that I got help getting in the car. Y'all can hurt me. They can hurt me.
Get out of the car.
That's bro. I'm a paraplegic. Ow.
You have to get out of the car.
Ow.
Get out of the car.
Somebody help. Somebody help.
Stop right here.
Somebody help.
Stop.
Somebody help.
Stop.
Someone help.
Stop.
So are y'all recording this?
Stop.
Somebody help. I'm a paraplegic.
Stop.
They are doing the unjust thing to me. Somebody please help me.
Stop.
Stop. You are hurting me. What are you talking about? I'm a paraplegic.
Stop.
I'm a paraplegic. I'm a paraplegic.
Stop. You're making this worse than it needs to be.
I'm a paraplegic. I gave y'all everything.
That's fine.
I gave y'all everything y'all asked for.
Fine. Cooperate.
Can y'all call the white shirt?
You call whoever you want.
Can y'all call the real police, please?
You about to get tased, dude. I ain't explaining what it is. Ow! You're making it so much harder than what it has to be.
Wow.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Please welcome to Five Black Comics. We're gonna touch on several different topics today, but I don't think anyone on the panel is gonna object. We're gonna touch on that last video. And that's gonna lead right into exactly what we're talking about today. So that was in my opinion, that was a perfect video to be part of the intro. I was looking. I mean, all of our faces were like, slack jaw as to what was going on in that video with a cop and the guy was saying he's a paraplegic. And even though the guy was saying he's a paraplegic, it made zero difference to the police. I mean, the guy said, I'm a paraplegic, and the cop is just screaming, get out the car. He's on the ground. I'm a paraplegic. Clearly, he can't walk. He has no movement of his, control of his body. And the cop is saying, shut up. You're making it worse. Shut up.
But Carl, I mean, I always thought that people who have certain handicaps, it's designated on their license.
Right.
On his license when they checked his credentials. I mean, how do you?
Yeah, I just thought.
Maybe not every state does that.
Even if it said it on his license, do you think they would have cared? I mean, did it look to you like they cared?
They didn't care.
Well, clearly they didn't.
No, they were just trying to make an arrest and they didn't care. And they picked the first victim they could find, as I call it. Did he say in the video something about last week, the cop? Did you hear him say something? I thought I heard something.
In the beginning, he did say something about, I didn't hear exactly, but it sounded like something had happened before.
I thought he said we went through this last week. Now that make me think, oh, well, wait a minute, what happened last week? Because now I'm like, why is he being pulled over twice? So is he being profiled, or is there something going on we don't know about? So I didn't get to see what he said. I can't hear what he said. But if that's the case, then that would lead me to believe, wait a minute, before I totally go out there. But either way, if the person is quadriplegic, if you know about them last week, then you knew they were quadriplegic. So,
yeah.
Well, I think he's paraplegic.
Paraplegic, thank you.
Yeah. His quad, I think, is all four limbs are.
Yeah.
But they did not even listen or say, okay, well, if he's paraplegic, then let's handle
get his wheelchair out. I mean, when his wheelchair being
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing about that, and this is what I'm finding. So, if nothing else, if some people say, well, no, it's not racism. Maybe his taillight was out. Okay, fine, whatever. Even if that was the case, there is certain protocol that I think that cops in these Midwest cities and crazy cities are coming from, that they're not trained on basic human behavior, period. That's what I think this boils down to. Because even if I ran a red light, I'm making that up, do I deserve to be dragged, right? For running a red light? Like, really? There's people out here with DWIs that done kill folks, and you're going to drag me for a red light or busted tail light, and I haven't hurt anybody? That doesn't even make sense. So I don't understand why the department itself would not say, listen, guys, we ain't got time for lawsuits for petty stuff. So we're not going to be dragging people out the cars for running a red light or tail light. Give them the ticket and keep it moving, period.
Well, what I'm thinking must have happened, because neither of those offenses warrant having a person get out of the car. Maybe, especially if something did happen the week before, maybe he has outstanding tickets. Maybe I mean, we don't know a lot of the backstory, but whatever the backstory is, the point is that if he has if he has some kind of a disability, they should not have handled him in that manner. Clearly, he was not a danger to them.
Nope.
So why strong arming? You know,
they like making the taxpayers pay a lot of money because they're going to lose that suit for sure.
Yeah, Kev, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I was going to say that responding to what Pam was saying about, with the cops, it doesn't matter. If you go back to the Sandra Bland situation, she was pulled over for a minor.
Right.
Also, that escalated because the cop basically was disrespecting her human rights. He was disrespecting her as a woman, as a lady, as a human being. These cops, they say they need better training, but do you need to be trained to treat another human being like a human being,
Yes, when you're not a human being.
Pull a person over for, if Sandra Bland's running out of a bank with a bag of money and a gun in her hand, that's different. But being pulled over for running a stop sign or something like failure to put on a turn signal, something of that nature, or tail light out, which is the most famous thing that most black people get pulled over for, the tail light crap. I've been a victim of that, But when you get pulled over, if it's something so minor and your cop comes up to the car, this guy missed a stop sign, but he walks up to your car with his hand on his gun, and he has an attitude, and he's talking down to you, and treating you like a piece of crap, just because of a stop sign or something so simple. I just think, they are trained to treat every situation like, it's
about aggression.
Yeah, because everything, it don't matter. I remember I spent the night in jail for a suspended driver's license back in the day, and I had to end up staying a night in jail over that. And I'm in the jail system, and I'm like, well, why am I getting treated like this? It's just a suspended license. But they were treating me just like they would treat the guy that came in for murder. When you're in that system, they don't care if it's a suspended license. They don't care if it's murder. They don't care if it's rape. You're in there, and you get treated just like the rapist or the murderer. So, and I noticed that. I was like, wow, I'm here for a suspended license, and I got shackles on my feet. Like, really? I need shackles on my feet? Like, I can walk in the courtroom like this the next day, shackled like this.
Oh my God.
Shackles on my hand, and I'm shackled up with other guys next to me. There's like a line of us coming in. I don't know what they're in there for. I just know mine was. I forgot to pay a ticket, and my license was suspended. I didn't know my license was suspended. I got pulled over. A cop goes, your license was suspended, right? I didn't know that. And so he arrested me because having a suspended license, because they can do that. They also can let you go, but he decided.
No, they can, because I know plenty of people who have been.
They want to get that. They want to get that arrest record. The more cops, the more they arrest you. So here I am in jail for suspended license overnight. But yeah, I'm walking through the courtroom like this the next day, shackled up. I'm like, damn, this is a license. Just a driver's license.
That's crazy.
It doesn't care. Here's the sad thing. I'm walking in. It's all a line of brothers, by the way.
Of course.
Shackles and gun fight. Most of the big burly cops in the back or guards, they're black, but they treat you like shit. So I just think that something has to be done. Like, you just pull a guy over. The guy's, and obviously, I guess when they got this guy out, why didn't they try to stand him up to see if he could stand? If you stand him up and he falls,
that would not been good either.
Then obviously, you can tell the person had balance. I was just holding a baby, a 4-month-old baby, about 2 hours ago on my lap, and when I let him go, he went like this. I had to catch him. He has no balance, so I would suspect the same thing would happen to this guy if he was telling the truth, right? About
yeah. So, you seen them dragging him away in the end.
Yeah.
He
obviously couldn't walk.
Yeah,
as he said. So yeah.
And they had to insult. They didn't even take his other sneaker with him. They tried to throw it back in his car.
Yeah.
I don't know what the outcome was, but I hope he got a good lawyer and sued people. And if he wasn't really breaking the law and they did that to them, then they should be in major trouble. But that's our situation on our show today, Carl. We're talking about there's no protection for black people.
Nope,
There's
none.
no protection for us.
There's no assumption of innocence for us.
Nope.
No, there isn't. I
There
mean, this
isn't.
hate bill, it bothers me, man. It bothers me because
Me too.
we don't have that bill to protect us.
Nope.
We've been here for 400 years getting our ass handed to us.
More than that.
Racism, you know, being badgered. We were just talking about the lady in Virginia Beach who has the guy playing the monkey music got his speakers towards her house. She's a black, for people that don't know, it's a black lady, a black mom, and her kids that live in a house in Virginia Beach in a neighborhood. And her neighbor is a racist, and he puts speakers in the yard and plays monkey sounds out towards her house. And she's called the cop on this guy, you know, 4 or 5 times. They show up and says nothing we can do. But so you're in America, you're allowed to harass black people with racism, and there's no laws on the books to protect us. But you know that if those people were Asian, and he was doing the same thing,
they have a law for them.
There's a law to protect them. So this guy will be arrested or something, you know, for harassing those Asian people next door to him. But there's no law to stop him from being a racist and playing monkey music and harassing her and her kids. You know, he even dropped the N-word towards them too.
So it goes back to what Godfrey said. There is a group of white people that just don't like black people.
There's a large group.
A large, yeah. So
yeah. And or yeah, even if you say don't like us, there's some the other part is doesn't respect us.
We live. No, you're right, Tanya, about the respect there. I performed last night in Staten Island, and Staten Island is like one of the most racist boroughs of New York. You know, the owner of the venue comes up to me after the show, and the show went great. By the way, guys, it was a killer show. And the audience loved it. You know,
nice.
It's mostly white crowd too. You know, it's probably 95% white people in there, a few black people in there, and some Puerto Ricans. You know, like I said, telling you guys off mic, but mostly white crowd. So the owner comes up, an Italian guy, and he goes, "You were great tonight, and you were great." He's shaking my hand. He goes, "We usually don't let black guys in here."
He's right.
Oh, he said that to me, yeah.
He kept it 100.
And then
that's mob territory.
A few minutes later, another joke. He comes up to me, goes, oh man, your show, they loved you, man. You know, I got to check you before you leave, right?
You know, you got to what?
I'm like, wow.
Check him.
Check you?
You got to check me before I leave, yeah. Like say I'm stealing something. He got to check me before I leave.
Oh, he was trying to make a joke.
Trying to be funny, all right?
Yeah, trying to be funny, yeah.
And so you should have came back with that.
You know, I'm thinking, you know, it's not the first time I've been on that road, you know, working comedy clubs around the country. We have to deal with that all the time, guys. We always have to deal with white people coming up telling us racist jokes, especially from the audience. Carl, you probably had this because you work on the road, where drunk white people come up to you.
I'm not racist, but
drunk white people come up and they do, you ever hear one about the 2 black guys?
Yeah.
And they're drunk, you know. So anything is okay to tell you a racist joke at the comedy club when you just got off stage entertaining. You know, and I said, no, those are jokes you would tell your friends when I'm not around. But okay, since you're drunk, go ahead and tell me, you know. So it's just, we deal with that. It's stuff we fucking deal with, man. Like
You're better than me because I don't let nobody tell me no jokes.
I mean, well, you can't really stop them. I mean, you know what I mean?
What do you do?
Maybe that's why I'm not working.
When you're the headliner at a comedy club, and you know you meet and greet with your fans, you know, they come up to you at the show, and most of the people come up are respectful, and most people come up love your show, and they want to shake your hand, take pictures with you, they want you to autograph something for them. Hey, look, they're drunk. Hey, can you autograph my shirt? You know, I got that one drunk white girl. Can you autograph my boob? You never know, you know. So just you get up with that stuff in my industry, right? So, but then you get that one drunk person that comes up and they're racist.
Out of line.
I mean, the guy last night was very happy that his audience was happy, but he can't help that he's a racist. No matter what I did on stage last night, I'm still a black guy, and he's still gonna let me know that I'm a black guy and that he's gonna tell these racist, unfunny jokes to me, as you know.
And you're gonna take it.
And I'm gonna take it. And you know, it don't bother me because it bothers me. It didn't bother me because I know why he's doing it. He's doing it because he's already probably deep down inside upset at the affection I'm getting from all the people that just watch my show. You know,
and they just want to keep you in your place.
Yeah,
Yep,
you know,
there it is.
Huh?
And they want to keep you in your place. He wants
Right.
to let you know.
There you go. You hit it right
Yes.
on the nose, Carl. They want to
That's
keep you in your place. You're absolutely right. They want to keep you in your place, and that's how they do that. You know, they keep you in your place by trying to, you know, tell these corny jokes. That
Now, instead of that approach, it would have been nice if he would just even think to himself, you know what? This guy, he did great in our audience. Maybe I should let another black person in.
Exactly.
Well, the fact
But
that
he
he probably was telling the truth about that is
Yeah.
really, that, you know, like Tanya said, you know, and anybody knows, he's probably telling the truth. They don't really care for black people. Actually, the black people that were there came to see me specifically because the booker just happened to show my video to some black guys at a fruit stand in the Bronx, and they're like, "Hey, want to come see that guy? He's at a fruit stand in the Bronx." Show my video on the phone of me, and those guys came to the show. So the 8 black people that were there drove from the Bronx just to see me and sat down.
Wow.
So yeah. Other than that, there would have been no black people in there.
But why is it? Why I?
But the point is, you connected with your audience that were non-black, so therefore,
it's not even
I
a
know,
thing.
no, I understand, but that's my point. You know, you would think that it would slap him in the head and say, you know what, maybe we could have some more black guys in here, maybe, or women. You know, maybe it doesn't have to be, you know, everybody that looks like us.
Well, no, I don't care about that because Sammy Davis Jr. had to walk through the back door. You know? It was only Frank Sinatra who said, "Well, if Sammy can't come to the front door with me, then I don't perform here." And that's what, you know, so I mean, so we're, no matter entertainers or not, we're still, to these people, excuse my language, niggers. Okay, I mean, at the bottom line, you know, we're still that to them. You know, and the guy was cordial. He was nice, whatever. He smiled.
You were the exception to the rule.
I'm the exception because I'm the headliner in a comedy club, and I'm the guy that people are sitting and watching for an hour and 10 minutes and spending money on food and drinks while they watch me, and that's, you know, it helps his bottom line basically.
You know, the funny thing is,
reason on that night.
You know, I think a lot of white people assume that black people walk around thinking I'm black, and we don't. You know what I mean? Until somebody points it out or says something stupid like, you know what I mean? Our blackness seems to be on their mind constantly, but our blackness is not on our mind until somebody does something to make me think, you know what I mean? To remind me that I'm black. But when I go to a comedy club, and I've done many clubs like you, Kev, and my audience is 90%, 99% white, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm a black guy and look at all the. And I do make fun of the fact that there's lots of white people. That's part of my.
Of course, that's what we do.
Stuff, you know what I mean? And it goes over, and I have fun. But as a person, like, I don't walk around. I don't walk into a club feeling, oh, I'm black and I'm in this black.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it seems to be on white people's mind because so many times I have the same thing when white people come up to me after the show. Like people from the audience and go, so how do you like being the only black person in this part of town? I'm like,
ain't nothing new.
I know, but
I grew up around.
I'm here to do a show. You know what I mean? For an audience, it's an audience of white people, but so I'm still here to do a show. But it just seems to be, and it's happened so many times. I can tell that it's on their minds.
Well, Carl, the first time we worked together, the only time we ever worked together, we was in a room. About 300 people,
right?
And we were only 2 black people there, right? And we were the entertainers, it was all white people, you know. So, where were we? Massachusetts, Connecticut, somewhere? I can't remember.
Connecticut,
Connecticut, okay.
Torrington, I think Torrington, Connecticut.
Yeah, we're in Connecticut, working for a big room, and we're only black people in the room, man. And it's a weird feeling. I mean, we are used to being black; they're not used to us being black. You know.
Well,
we're black.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I like to explore the other part. The people like Blue Eyes who said, "I'm not. If he can't go in, I can't either." Because that really, there's nothing else, no other recourse that we have except for to be depressed about it. So I refuse to do that. So I focus on the people like somebody like an Blue Eyes who says, "You know what? Nope." And I just go on my allies. I have to focus on the allies because Everything else is too depressing at this point. We already know we're hated. We already know that, why? I don't know, because I think we're just absolutely divinely fabulous people. I think no matter what, we can have 2 cents. I mean, 2 cents. I saw a dude homeless who had mental illness down by the highway, and he was happy as hell. Happy as hell. Now, someone would say, "Well, look at him. Wouldn't he be depressed?" No, he was hi. He was on hi. I mean, maybe it was part of the mental illness. That's possible, but he was still even rejuvenating happiness. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, Black people to have survived what we've been through, we are resilient, brilliant, and I don't know how anybody don't want to be bothered with us. I don't get that, because from what I see, most of us are just outstanding people. You know what I'm saying? We're fun. We can have fun with $2 or $5 million. Whatever you got, we got it popping. You know what I'm saying? So how do you not like that? So for me, I don't focus on all those negative people that look at me like, oh, Black person. Yes, I've been in a place in Paris, and it's all the Europeans from the other part of Europeans that be like, oh, Black folk. And I've seen that, and that's a little weird, but I no longer feel uncomfortable. I make them uncomfortable. That's just me. I make you go. You're not making me uncomfortable, because I love who I am. I love every part of brown in me. You should like every part of whatever color you are. And we should be able to meet in middle ground. If we can't, it's okay. Just don't be in my space. Because if you're in my space, I'm going to make sure you're in my space. I'm not in your space. And that's how I think we all need to start looking at that. I don't care about it.
Tanya, it's jealousy. I mean,
a lot of things.
I was thinking about Hank Aaron, who was breaking Beirut's record. The guy over baseball, a stupid baseball, was getting thousands of death threats over baseball.
Well, didn't he have
like somebody actually wants to shoot this black and in his life over a baseball and a score that was held by a white guy.
How about the white guy that got up one morning, grabbed a can of paint, drove down to the George Floyd stand at the George Floyd statue, and just threw it on the statue? I mean, and they have video of him mixing the paint on the scene. He you know what I mean? Like, dude,
most of the people that do that, most of the people that are racist are stupid too.
He's mixing the paint on the scene before he throws it on the statue.
You know my thing about that call, and we talked about this also during our meeting, about this guy that and George Floyd's statues have been, but here's my point with that. Now, I grew up in Washington, D.C., and there's lots of Confederate statues around, Confederate soldiers on horses and stuff like that, and in different squares, different parts of the city. There's no history of Black people ever going up to Robert E. Lee's statue and throwing paint on it. Ever. We've never done that. Like, we've never gone, and that dude was a slave owner and a Confederate soldier and threw paint. We've never done that to white slave owners who have statues and stuff like that. So why would this guy be so bothered by George Floyd, who, by the way, is a victim of murder? The guy's a victim of murder. Like, why are you so angry at a guy that was murdered by a cop? I mean,
because they've always wanted us to be invisible.
He's the bad guy? George Floyd's the bad guy?
No, but we need to be invisible. Everything that they've ever done is because they've wanted us to be invisible. They don't mind. Of course, they wanted our labor at some point, but after that, when we weren't, and even with that, be invisible. Everything. They do not want any reminders that we are of any relevance in the community. So anything that's going to be a lifetime depiction of anything, they have an issue with. Well, they do not want us to be relevant, period.
And their argument also was, well, George Floyd had a drug problem. George Floyd had a criminal record, so he shouldn't have a statue. So George Floyd should have been a perfect murder victim. Like,
right.
Well, we murdered a person.
Here's the thing. You don't ever hear I don't know of any time that we have ever got up in arms and protested against a known drug dealer who, when they raided and for whatever reason, the man ended up being dead. We generally the protests that I have heard of have always been of everyday citizens, and everyday citizens have flaws, but everyday citizens who were not in a criminal, generally in a violent criminal act.
Right.
They were just going about their day, and the police have done what they've done, but they don't see it that way immediately. And that's why they do that to us. That's why they immediately start to dig into our history. Even with those kids was it in Alabama? Oh God, about maybe less than 20 years ago. There was 5 kids that got sent to prison.
Yes.
I forget their names, but it was a huge protest. Michael Basin was in on it, and it was a whole thing. Immediately they start to try to dig to see, he wasn't in school for 10 days. They try to find something negative to come back at us to say, that's why he got hurt, because he wasn't an upstanding citizen. But
Right.
upstanding or not, that is not the law of the land. The law of the land is you're guilty until proven. I mean, you're innocent. To them it is. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Go ahead, Tanya.
That follows for only white people. That does not follow for black people. We're guilty
I know.
until proven innocent. But I want to say, Kevin, I at that point, here's the thing. When people bring that theory that, George Floyd's a criminal, he doesn't deserve a statue, then okay, then you don't mind us taking down the statues of the monsters that created half of this lie that we're living, like Columbus. Oh, forget him. What's his name? J. Marion Sims, who experimented on a slave, practiced abortion in front of his daughter's wedding party or something like that. Something crazy. I mean, I got to look it up. I'm not sure of the exact facts, but I don't have the full thing in front of me. Wait, what was it? I know he practiced, and he practiced the abortion in front of his daughter. I want to say it was his daughter's wedding party. Something crazy. They were sitting there.
There were a lot of gynecological experiments
something like that. And so he was
were
like,
done.
"This is what we're going to do." And that was the thing of the time, to practice on a slave with no anesthesia. So he has statues. What are we going to? Can we take those down, please?
Yeah, you're right.
Because if that's the theory that they're saying, well, George Floyd was a criminal. Why do we have a statue? Take all the damn statues down.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just keep it real.
Statue.
Because other ones own slaves. Yeah.
I have a question for the panel real quickly. So getting at Biden real quickly with this.
Yeah, it was just
Biden have executive. He could do an executive order and get things through, right? From what I understand, I could be wrong. So correct me if I am, but I believe he has the power for executive order.
Yeah.
To get some stuff done, like this George Floyd bill and a few other things that haven't been passed yet.
Well, then it wouldn't be a bill. Right. So there's a difference. There's an executive order, and then there's the bills and that go into as law. So an executive order, he can't overrule and say, okay, it's going to go through, because a law is permanent.
Right.
The executive orders are only valid until the next administration, and if they choose to reverse it, then it's done. So it's a very temporary thing.
Got you. Because I remember Kleinburn from South Carolina, who basically got Biden over the hump.
He did.
He said on national television he's going to hold Biden accountable and make him do the things he promised to do for Black people. He's going to hold him accountable.
What do since we're talking about what do we want Biden to do? Because one of the topics we were talking about today is, has Biden failed the Black voters?
Yes, what I was getting into.
Yeah. So let's name some things that specifically that we think Biden should do.
Yeah, he should have did. Well, Kevin was going, so I'll let you go. But let's talk about one of the things he could have did for everybody was those student loans. That's the least he could have did.
Yeah.
Just the least.
I mean, one thing is I don't understand how the Asian bill was passed so quickly. And if Biden has to do an executive order on a Black hate bill, do it.
Yeah.
But it's only temporary, right? So and then that puts it to the back burner, and does it really get into a permanent status at any point?
But at least do it to show us that you mean, Black voters put Biden in the White House.
Yep.
He literally did put Biden in the White House.
Yeah.
Well, if we're comparing with the Asian bill that passed, the discrimination bill that passed, I think that we really need to find out a little bit more about how long that was in the making and how they got to do it. See, because they're doing a collective power to push through this agenda. Do we have that collective mechanism in place? Or are we just, 8 million, 11 million people just chattering, floating around without coming out with a definitive agenda to push it forward? And how much money is behind it?
Yes.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes.
That's the thing, because money is what makes everything up there go around.
And that's why nothing's going around for us, because they don't value our money.
Well, not only that, we're not using the collective power of our money.
Exactly. Collective. That's the magic word. There it is.
Yeah.
But it seems like so many people are afraid to say they're on Black people's side. I mean, there are some, but as a whole, like, I don't think Biden wants to be the guy or the president that is for Black, even though everything he's supposed to do for Black people is necessary and needed and overdue. Even Barack Obama, right? It was a Black president, and it seemed like he was also kind of, walking on eggshells as far as doing too much.
Well, he wasn't.
He didn't want.
He had to walk on eggshells.
Right.
Biden doesn't, because Biden's white. Barack Obama couldn't even say.
Yeah, he wasn't. I don't really consider him a Black. I mean, I don't consider him in our corner.
But I know I get into trouble with some people when this topic comes up. Just because he's Black doesn't necessarily mean that there is a Black agenda.
Thank you. Exactly.
And it's not. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I would have wanted a Black man to go in there and just go all
right.
Well, this is blah 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 blah.
People agenda.
But the issue is that in Washington, in order to get anything done, there is a whole machinery behind those people. They can say what they want, and most politicians make a whole bunch of quote unquote promises that never get fulfilled. Yep. I think what it takes is a strong enough coalition of us collectively coming together with money, because it's all about the money. Yep. Who's gonna fund their campaigns? If we don't have that, and we don't have it all going in the same direction to get that particular thing done, it's never going to get done, because the majority of people don't care. I have a feeling that the reason why the Asian community were able to get that to go through, and again, I don't know how long it was in the making, was because collectively the Republicans as well as the Democrats, but the Republicans especially, know that they want them on their side. They want their monies and they want their vote. So they're like, look, if this is one little stronghold that I can get into, let's do this.
Because that Asian vote will put them over the top.
But so to the panel and the people watching, are we gonna say, can we honestly say that as a whole in America, everything seems to go against Black people?
Oh,
right?
Godfrey points that out every time we listen to Godfrey. Every time we listen to Godfrey points
so
out.
Anything that we're asking Biden to do, we're not asking, or Obama, whoever president, we're not asking them to do. We're not asking for more than another group or give us something they don't know. Right. Basically, we're just saying make it equal, make it even, make it fair.
Right.
So I see nothing wrong. I mean, with Obama, if he came in and he had a Black agenda, we need somebody to have a Black agenda to bring us up to the same level as everybody else.
Well, I don't think
we need a Black agenda, but it seems that we are afraid. There's something about helping Black people that scares people. I don't get that.
Yeah, but the thing is, Carl, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it should be a Black agenda. It should be a people agenda so that even Black people feel included.
But white presidents have white agendas all day.
But they don't call it that.
That's not right. That's not.
Donald Trump had a white agenda.
They don't call it that.
Reagan had a white, right? And they're like unapologetic about it.
Because they don't call it a white agenda. They call it about being America. Make America great. We know what they mean, but we can't. But you can't prove it. Like if it hasn't been said, if it hasn't been written down, it never happened. And that's the key. And the thing about with Obama was anything that he did that specifically was geared towards bettering our situation was going to get kicked back and it wasn't going to go through. So I think part of what he did in certain things was he tried to do something on the whole that would have still given us a leg up. But again, he's only one guy in a mechanism. It's not, he wasn't, no one is going to be able to do that.
Yeah,
Well,
I get that. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just don't think that he was for or against Black people. I think he was just being a president and doing what he had to do. Only value he brought to me personally was it was nice to see someone in there that was articulate, that was handsome as heck. So when I turned on TV, I'd be like, look at our president. And it was nice that someone actually knows what they're talking about, and the way that they talk to people, respect and kindness. Those were the part of the elements that I loved about Barack Obama. And then Michelle, I mean, she was just fabulous on the whole, and she made people raise their health game in the community. So that's what I took away from that, because I did not like money being given to banks. I don't give a damn what color you are as a president. If you give banks money, I got a problem with you. So
but I need listen. We need a Black agenda. We need
Granted.
We need a Black agenda. We need somebody to go in there and not give a fuck what anybody thinks. I'm here to help Black people, and here's what I'm going to do everything in my power to bring Black
but again, but that
here.
You heard what you just said? You heard what you just said, Carl, right?
What?
In my power. And that's the whole thing.
Right, but I'm saying, but the people that are president, I mean, they're pussyfooting around. They don't want. Nobody wants to. No, people are afraid to be the one that's helping Black people. You know what I mean? It's like we are. You see it. Barack Obama didn't want to be the president that's helping Black people because, for some reason, it seems like everybody's. You know what? Most of the people in America are racist, and we're gonna cater to them. We're going to cater to racist
his
people.
Numbers went down.
Because they have the most power and the most money.
Carl, his popularity numbers dropped like crazy when he had that situation where he went against the police.
With Henry Louis Gates. The Bear Gate. I think they called it Bear Gate or something like that.
Yeah. But we gotta.
His numbers dropped like crazy. So him sticking up for Black people, every time he even tried to, his popularity and his numbers just dipped like crazy.
No, but
I can say the only thing I can say is I wish that in the second term he went a little bit more. He went bang.
You gotta bulldoze through that.
And granted, okay, so they're a pretty couple and everything, but the fact that both of them were so freaking smart, and there was nothing that they could dig up on him to disparage him personally. But again, the more I learn about politics, the more I realize that it ain't always that simple. There is so much behind getting each and every bill passed. There's so much money. There's so much pressure, and you can't just go in. I mean, you can write an executive order. Okay, that'll last 2 years, and then it goes. And maybe symbolically. What I would have liked to have seen him do that I wish he had done was in his second term that he had commuted a whole lot more of us.
So and Holly,
women on the court. I thought he was gonna put some women on the Supreme Court.
Look, he couldn't even get Garland on the court. You think you're gonna get a woman on the court?
That's the one thing.
And you remember there's three. There were, I think, at the time there were either three women on the court at that point.
Yeah.
So I mean.
And plus, the courts, they got to wait for somebody to die out.
A lot of Republicans.
Well, but two died. That's my point. Garland was supposed to get that, and they didn't even want to give him that for, So how are they going to give him? They wouldn't have given him either one, man or woman, actually.
Okay.
I think he did put up a woman, but something happened, and she had to bow out.
Who?
Right, I'm going to read a couple of comments.
No.
I'm going to read some comments and shout out to some to our audience, like Donna Haggett. Karen Francis, what's up? We see you. We see Wanda Brown, Waylon Ballard, Karen Francis, and Holly is asking, define a Black agenda. If I were president,
exactly,
I know for a fact. We know for a fact that Black people are not given loans to start businesses.
Yep.
Right. We know that for a fact. We know they're given higher interest rates on mortgages, loan, student loans, whatever kind of loan. I would get a committee together to look into that stuff. That would be my Black agenda.
But they don't need to look into it. They already know.
Well, but I mean, to do
I mean,
something
you know,
about it.
because what's that?
Why not look into
Warren
it
had that commission.
and actively do something about it. Go to banks and say, "Let me see all your books and stuff." You know,
Yeah, we already know.
By black. Okay, I know we know, but I'm saying a committee that does something about it.
Yep.
But they did, and then Trump wiped. No, they did, and Trump wiped it out. They didn't do. I mean, it wasn't like a remarkable thing, but they did. Forget it's a consumer protection thing that Warren had put in place after the debacle of 2008, whatever it was, and there were a lot of protections placed in there. But with Trump, they reversed that, and that was the end of it. But there are some things that were put in place. It's just about how effective are they, right?
Right.
They're not. The bottom line is those folks that make those those bankers and stuff. They're not getting put in jail. If what they did, if the criminal acts that they did would land them in real jail, I mean, or real prison, not that little frou-frou Club Med.
The way they expose Wells Fargo, right? They expose Wells Fargo for creating fake accounts and for people, right? And they expose them and they pay the fine and all that stuff. Why can't they go and expose all these banks?
But they have, and they pay the fines, and then it's bye-bye, and then 2 years later, it's back to normal.
Fines, though, yeah, paying the fines, money is money, but
I'm talking about putting the people in jail. If they had to go in and be around with all the real hard-nosed folks that up in there killing folks, they would change, but they won't, because even when they go to these prisons, they're luxury prisons.
So are we saying that it's useless to try to help Black people? Is that
no? I'm saying no, not in the system that we have set up.
And go.
We don't.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, they should help ourselves. And one of the things, and that's good you brought up about banks, because I would love for every Black person in America to get together and see how many were overcharged for their mortgages, their car loans, all their loans, credit cards, how they got the highest interest. I bet you we could prove that we just being Black, you get slapped with an extra 10%.
Right. So,
and look, I think they've already proved it. I think the data is already out there. The point is, what does it do? What mechanisms can be put into place to safeguard us from being victimized this way?
So I don't understand if there's a committee that's already out there doing that. They came back with the information, say, here, Mr. President, here's what we found. Here's what these banks are doing to minorities. And it just sits there and nothing gets done.
Again, they do.
Now, I'm
they
saying
find them, and they may put. And what those banks have also done is they do some little community development stuff. You know, make nice with the Black community, and they may throw a couple of dollars here and there to show that they're down for the cause. But overall, it doesn't change. I would think that it might have changed somewhat in recent years, where everything is so computerized. You don't go in and see a person in face to face any longer.
Nope. Because your color code is on one of them pieces of paper. Trust me, I tell you. You don't put your Black. Once you put it one place, they all know it. So that's on us. We need our own banks, our own everything. That's how I feel.
So bottom line is, no matter who's president, they can't help Black people.
Nope. Only Black people can help Black people. That's by taking.
So that's the conclusion.
Well, you know, but again, now come back to the Asian bill, right? Mm-hmm. They have a whole bunch of banks.
Yep.
They have a whole bunch of cooperatives.
Right.
They circulate their money within their communities hard and strong.
That's why.
So doesn't it go back to what Dr. Umar Johnson said in the video we watched earlier, the first video? He said everybody looks at every group and they see. I'm paraphrasing. They see who has the most power. They look at Black people. They see we have no power.
But that's not. But we have no. How about this? Not that we don't have no power. We have not utilized our power. We actually.
Right. We have not strategized with it.
Billions of dollars, but we have not strategized to show people this is what we're doing.
So it's our fault then.
Yes,
it's our fault. Absolutely. In my opinion, at this point, it's our fault. We need to step up our game 500%.
In 2021, why are we still looking to white people?
because some people who do have the money have not stepped up their game to say, you know what, let me get a bank and let me see if I can get enough this. Maybe I'll be the one giving out the car loans. I'll be the one doing the homes. I'll be the one doing those. And they already pulls their money together for the grocery stores, for everything. They'll do just like in Tulsa and say, what? Why are they self-sufficient? What's wrong? Why are they doing this to us? We're losing their money. When that
like in Tulsa and all those other places, when they see us doing that, trust and believe.
This time it ain't happening because we're ready. No, we're ready. We're ready. It's not.
We would have to put that in part of the whole strategy of what we do to safeguard ourselves. Because
they're ready. You'd have to literally do a stealth bomber. That's the only way you're going to make that happen. It's not happening again. It's not going to happen. This group of people, we ain't the same. We ain't the same as our ancestors. That's all I'm going to tell you. I wish we had that kind of strength. We don't have that kind of strength. We do have that. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? We have that. Je ne sais quoi. We have that where we're not going to take it. I'll tell you that.
Do we really though? Do we really?
Oh no. So most of us will not sit by. Well, you're right. I take that back. There are some of us.
Because I see the way I see it. I think
there are some of us.
I think the guys like the Dr. Kings and of the world and those guys put up a lot more shit than we put up with today. You know, back in their day.
Yes, but they did something.
I don't even think half of us can handle that. What they went through.
No. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Kevin. Is some of us will go.
We're too comfortable now. We're too comfortable now. I mean, you know.
I think with this whole melting pot type of thing going on, and everybody's trying to be like, you know, I don't think we have. I think there's a certain amount of positive outcomes that come from being segregated, right? Because when you have that mentality, you kind of come together as a group. Out here in New Jersey, and probably all over the place, you see. People from South Asia, so like the India, Pakistan, those Asian. If you see a development and you see two families, trust and believe you're going to see about 20 in about 3 months, because they come together because they understand the importance of commonality, right? The same reason I guess that white folks usually kind of stay with them group, but we unfortunately tend to try when we can to break out and find another place, right? So our whole mentality and our survival instincts, and I think that's really what it is. I came out to the suburbs because I wanted my son to have a backyard. I wanted him to be, I didn't want him having to be in the street trying to run and duck from bullets.
Me too. Yep.
You know, and because of that, I also, especially now, recognize how much I've kind of taken away from what I would have loved for him to have, that certain amount of street smarts and you know, but he, you know, his school was mainly predominantly in the, you know, people of that a South Asian atmosphere, and his sensibilities are a lot more in line with, you know, I asked him because, you know, it seems as though he likes across the board. Anyway, but all I wanted to say is so when we talk about coming together, we have to start, I think, more in cerebrally and come together as a force, because it's just like a rope, right? A rope has a million different thin threads and it's strong and it's hard. But if you take one of those, it's weak and it'll break.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Waylon Ballard said we haven't progressed like other groups because we have been taught to hate each other and help each other.
For 400 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long we're gonna keep saying that. I mean,
well, it's been 400 years. It's been this a long
hopefully not too long.
Yeah, it's a long time.
I get it, and you know what I mean, but the fact that we are now all educated people and we all know what's going on. We all know, we have seen the enemy and we know what they're up to.
We need to come up with the solutions now. That's what it is.
Right. So when I see comments like that, okay, we know they taught us to hate each other, to hate ourselves. We know.
And I don't think we hate each other as much as we used to. I don't think that that's the case at all.
So now that we know what's going on, we shouldn't we be smart enough to come up with some kind of strategy and figure out.
I think we're trying.
Yeah, we are.
I think we're in the infancy stage. I think there's a lot of falling down and brushes, scraping in the knees. That is, but I think we are getting better.
We are definitely getting together.
We've come a long way.
It's small pieces.
Yeah.
We've come along. We've come along.
We have. I mean, I see it. I've gone to places, and I've gone to inner city communities, different places, and even the young little kids, whether it's gangbangers, whether it's kids who may not be as educated. There's always one in the crowd that's a little bit woke. That's like, okay, I got to change this and I got to do that. So I'm happy with that, because before it was like everybody's like, let's do you. I'm just gonna live for today. I don't care about tomorrow. At least now people are like, no, tomorrow's got to be bright. And that whole, what's that saying that everybody has? Something about the future for today. Hashtag. What is not make your money? What is it called? Oh my gosh, I forgot some hashtag that's out now. That I love it because everybody's living it and saying, "Oh, living my best life." That's it. Live my best life, and I think that has seeped into all communities and all of us. And even, I have other people who look and say, "Yeah, you know what? I'm rooting for you. We got to get this together because we can do it."
All right, let me read a couple.
There's hate in the white community also.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
74 million people that hate Biden's guts that voted for Trump.
Yes. Well, I'm now one of the 74 million.
Karen, what's up, Karen? Karen said Trump had no problem pushing his agendas, so I see nothing wrong with anyone pushing their black agenda.
But that's because he was part of that whole mechanism, and all them good old white boys were backing him.
In my opinion, Karen, I'm with you. I will go in. I will push my black agenda. If I'm a one-term president, so be it.
But you can want what you want, but if the mechanism isn't behind what you want, it's not going to happen.
Let me finish. But especially if I got the Congress and everybody behind me, I'll make the laws. I know.
I think President Carl Yard would be facing assassination.
I will go in with my agenda. I mean, it's like, white people come in and they push their agenda and they don't give a fuck who is in the way. They don't care if it's black people, Latino. They just bulldoze their way through.
Carl, they don't. That one person. Listen, wait. That one person is not. That's my point. They had everybody else behind them.
Right, and that's how they're able to do it.
That's my point.
The laws, they got the police, they got the state, they got the
president just doesn't come in and say, you do this, you do this, you do that, and it's done. Even with Trump, you had to have the mechanism behind him.
Understanding what I'm saying. Trump came in and he did what he did, and he didn't care whether it worked or not. At least he tried. But whereas black people or people that's trying to help black people, they kind of very timid about it. They don't really want to push it. I'm pushing it. Regardless of the outcome, I'm pushing it. I'd be like Malcolm X if I was in the fucking White House.
And guess what? You wouldn't be there but a day.
I don't care.
But, well, that's fine. But listen, he can come in there and he can go on the mic and he can say, listen, he could be on the mic and he can say, this is what I want to do.
No, but
he did. Wait, stop. But if you don't. But if you don't have all of those white men in Congress and in the Senate, it's not gonna happen. And all the lobbyists, that's just unfortunate.
Pushing it. That's what I'm saying. Trump didn't get everything he wanted, but he let you know I am here for white people and I'm pushing shit for white people.
God bless.
Out the gate.
Try.
That is true.
That is true, but again, he was not saying that in a bubble. He had look at the demographics of Congress, of the Senate. He had the people behind him, so he could say all that shit and have the majority of it go through.
When he first elected, he had the Congress and the.
Look, he tried to get healthcare through in the first one, and they stumped him. And healthcare was for everybody.
Yeah.
So how the hell he gonna do it just for? It's not. I hate to say it.
I wants to buy my Obama button.
I'll take it.
You push the button right here and say.
I got an Obama picture.
Listen, all I'm saying.
What's it say?
It says yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
The bottom line, before we go, we're gonna go pretty soon. We're 5 minutes over, but that's okay. It seems to me that everyone is very scared to help black people, even though we need the most.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? They seem to be this, because it seems like the racist white people have the power and the money, so they want to be on their side almost, right? Because they're the ones with the power and money. We don't have all that power and money, so they can do.
We do not utilize our power and money.
Okay, we don't
collectively.
We don't utilize our power and money in a positive way, a way that could be most effective. You know what I mean? So we are dismissed easily because they can look at us and see we're not together.
And also too, they know that they go out on the election circuit, they say all these wonderful things that sound so wonderful. And then when they get into office, they don't have to follow through because, again, we do not show them through the money. And that's all this is about, money right now, that we meant business and they will not succeed without us.
Well, I'm changing
because they know they come back.
I'm changing my party.
Okay.
I'm not voting ever again based on Democrat, Republican. I'm voting on who do I think will get the job done, period.
So Ann Hardy's asking me what laws did Trump pass or what did he accomplish? He couldn't even build a damn wall. I'm not saying he did any. I'm saying he
unapologetically put it out there.
Yes, thank you, Pam. That's all I'm saying. He came in and he let you know I'm here for white people, and if you don't like it, too bad.
Well, that was his platform, and that's what made him get to where he got to.
Right.
He got a whole bunch of people that felt like him.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And they couldn't speak. They didn't want to speak. So he was the one that they pushed in front and said, you go see what we're saying because we can't stand these niggas. Let's go get it. That's what happened.
But I'm not asking for them to take stuff from white people and give to black people. I'm going to say if you are giving out 3% loans to white people with an 850 credit score, and then give 3% loans to black people with the same kind of credit score.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's the same thing. We don't want nothing extra.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
I know, but we can dream, can't we?
It's America.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
No. Now if we boycott like the old days.
No, that's the way I say. I say
again, hitting them in the pocket, right?
They're in the pocket.
There you go.
Let all the African Americans in this country say, "Hey, we're not gonna shop for Christmas this year."
Ooh.
We ain't buying Nike no more.
And what? If you don't buy Nike,
but we don't have that. We don't have that anymore. You see how far Colin Kaepernick's. Nobody's going to watch football, but then 3 weeks later, everybody's watching football. So
Colin,
we don't boycott shit anymore for more than a week.
I know that's sad. That's really sad.
Because Colin, that's what I was saying to you.
And they know to wait it out.
That's what I was saying to you, Tanya, earlier about black people were tougher back then.
Yes,
because they can do it out because they can boycott.
Yep.
And walk to work or whatever the case may be. They would do things. They would make sacrifices that today's African Americans would not make.
Yes. We become
soft. I'm one of them old school.
We're comfortable, Pam. We're very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to leave that nice crib and my nice crib and everybody else's nice crib to go out and
yeah.
Roll your feet up and roll your just deal with it.
Look, somebody asked me to go and stand on Tompkins Avenue and wait for the number 47. I'm like, in the dead of winter with the snow 8 inches high. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that.
But
I've become so accustomed just hopping in my car.
Black people 55 years ago, not only did they do that, they were getting stoned and dogs.
That's right.
Well, I told you my foster mother was also a civil rights leader, and she lost part of her vision.
Before we go, by the way, after the show, I'm selling Obama posters. Anybody want to buy one? Here, Obama poster, anybody?
All right,
$5 for Obama poster. That cool ass dude right there.
Oh God.
All right, we're gonna go. Wow, this was I love this show. This was a pretty fiery show. I love all the comments. Want to thank everyone for watching the show.
Oh yeah, on YouTube too.
YouTube, please check us out on YouTube. 5 Black Comics on YouTube.
Yes.
On Facebook, we're on Facebook. We're also Cinco Negro.
Yes.
So thank you to Wandra Brown, Pamela Jones. Thank you so much. I'm not going to get everyone. I apologize. Patricia Felix, I don't see you, but the last time I did not mention the name. You said, hey, I'm here. So
Wellen Barely, who's a guy.
Oh wow, we got a guy.
Well,
Wandra?
No, Baylor.
Oh, Baylor. I
Yeah,
think that's the same guy that changed his name, right? Is that?
No, I'd say he's the guy. Yeah.
Oh, he's a guy. Karen Francis. Love Sounds. That person knew.
Yes, I saw them on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had quite a few.
Yeah. Let me read one of the comments. She said, "It sounds. It should be equitable because we know the roots of America never were." She's probably referring to something we had said. But thank you for checking in. Hopefully you check in next Saturday. We'll be here at 5:00 with another fiery discussion.
Yes.
So bottom line, what we take from the show today is that Black people can only help ourselves.
And tell Biden he better get on his game because he ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Not on my vote.
It was 120, so.
I know. Coming back his tail from the crib.
Hey, I'll take him over Trump. I don't care.
I don't know at this point.
The lesser of two evils.
I'll take him over.
I'll take Lucifer for $500.
You take Lucifer over Biden?
I'll take Lucifer over Biden.
Really, like, you think he's intentionally hurting?
Wow.
Well, what he did with Afghanistan, I'll never forgive. So that's one. What he did with the Haitians, never forgive. So I'm done. That's just as bad as Trump to me. Just as bad.
Really?
Yeah. I'm done. I'm done with him.
That's another show, but
I wouldn't abandon him for that because I don't think
he's gone out of my life.
I think he's got so much going on. I don't think that
he's out of my life. There's nothing he can ever say to bring it back.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he gave Asians money over us. Are you kidding me? Oh no, nope. And then he left Afghanistan. He's in 95,000. He's going to give them those jobs to people that don't.
And okay, let me give you somewhere else something else to be pissed off. They're getting $15,000 when they.
I already know, and jobs, and the jobs that some of us ain't going to take because we don't want to take whatever. They're going to get those jobs. No, I don't want him no more. I'm done.
If Trump comes back and wins the presidency,
he's going to win. He'll probably win.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Our country will be over as we know it.
Well, guess what? It's a gamble, but it's all a gamble anyway. What the hell? Why not? I'm ready to play. Let's go. I'm done. That's how done I am.
I'll take being a president is probably the hardest job.
Thank you, viewers. Make sure you vote.
I'll take somebody that's having a hard time being great at the job.
Not me.
Than somebody like Trump, who is a con man. I'm
starting to be with Omarosa and that other Karen chick. What's the black girl name?
Candace.
Yeah, I'm starting to go.
Candace Owens?
Yeah, I'm transitioning. I can't.
Wow.
Really?
I'm joking. It's a joke. That's a half joke. I ain't that fun, okay?
I was just about to text Carl and say, can you call 911?
Tanya.
I'm gonna form my own party, damn it.
And the Oscar goes to Tanya.
Yes, Tanya Cooper.
Thank you very much.
Lord Jesus. I have to say, Tanya, you really did have me there. I was like, oh my God.
I ain't that convinced yet.
I was about to drive to New York.
Man, Tanya, I was about to punch my fucking iPad.
No, I ain't that gone yet. I'm gone where I'll switch parties and just do something else.
Who's your acting coach? Because I need to hook up with them.
Damn. Sweet. By the way, Carl.
Yeah.
Your beard's looking pretty nice over there.
Yeah, you like that?
I'm liking that silver thing going on there. Nice.
Hey, Carl, you let that go a little longer. Christmas will be here. You can get some Santa Claus.
All I got to do now is work on my nose, and I got Pam. That's all I got. I just got to work on the nose.
You remember too much of what I say.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Please join us on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Kevin. You guys are blessed. I love all you guys. I love all you guys that watch us. Please continue.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Love everybody.